let's look at a simple algebra equation and see how you solve them. And so if you have something like 2 plus x is equal to 4, you're going to be asked to solve for x. And, you know, this is not something we do just because we enjoy math particularly, or we're just trying to teach you how to do this just so you know how to do it. Math is all about solving real-world problems. If you're a chef in a restaurant and you're trying to order supplies, or you're a small business owner, maybe you own a flower shop, you're trying to figure out how many roses to buy for a holiday weekend. Math is a powerful tool, and the only reason we spend time learning it is because it helps us do things in our real everyday life. So we're always trying to figure out what the unknown or what the variable is. That's the answer we're trying to solve. So usually in math, we want to have that variable on the left side of the equal sign, and then everything else we want to move over to the other side, over to the right. And the main thing to keep in mind when you're solving these algebra problems is the equal sign is kind of like a teeter-totter, or the whole equation is a teeter-totter or a balance beam, and the equal sign is in the middle. And we want to keep that equation in balance at all times. So to get x by itself in this case, I got to get rid of this 2 on the left side. I've got to move that 2 over to the right side of the equation. So to get rid of it on the left, I'm just going to subtract 2 from the left side. But whatever I do to one side of the equation, I have to do to the other side. So I'm going to subtract 2 minus 2 is 0. That becomes 0 plus x. And then over on the right, it's 4 minus 2 is 2. And 0 plus x is just x equal 2. So that's actually x equals 2 is the solution in this case. We could do another one. You might have 2x equals 4. Again, I want to get x by itself on the left side of the equation and move everything else over to the right. So I would like to divide by 2, because 2 divided by 2 is just going to be 1, or 1x, which is what I want. But whatever I do to one side of the equation, I have to do the exact same thing to the other. So in this case, 2 minus 2, or 2 divided by 2 is 1, or just x is equal to. And then 4 divided by 2 is 2. So the answer is just x equals 2. If we have something a little more complicated, we'll just do it in steps. How about 3x minus x plus 3 plus 7 equals 0? So let's just do it in stages. I know that I can do this subtraction, 3x minus x, because these are both the same variable terms. So 3 minus 1, or 3x minus 1x is 2x. And then plus, and I can do these simple real numbers. 3 plus 7 is 10. And then I'll just write the rest of the equation as it is, equals 0. Now I want to get rid of the 10 over here on the left side, so I'm going to subtract the left side by 10, and whatever I do to one side of the equation, I have to do the exact same thing to the other, subtract 10 from the other side. So in this case, this is going to leave me on the left with 2x equals 0 minus 10 is minus 10. Now I got to get rid of that 2 that's with the x, so let me divide by 2 on this side. Whatever I do to one side, I have to do the exact same thing to the other. So 2 divided by 2 is 1, or just x is equal to minus 10 divided by 2 is minus 5. We'll do one more. How about if we have something like 4x over 2 plus 3x times 3 equals 22. Well, when you have these, a little more complicated equations, just do them in steps. Do one step at a time, and then work your way down the page. So in this case, we can simplify this first term. 4x x over 2. That's 4 divided by 2 is just going to become 2x. Let's start writing the rest of the equation. Plus, and we can actually do this step also. 3x times 3 is 9x. And finally, let's just write the rest of it as it is, equals 22. Now we can combine these terms, so 2x plus 9x, that's going to become 11x equals 22. And now I got to get rid of this 11 with the x, so let's divide by 11. And whatever I do to one side, I have to do the exact same thing to the other. Divide by 11. So this becomes 11 divided by 11 is 1, or just 1x, or x is equal to 22 divided by 11 is 2.